Greetings, B-movie aficionados.
Hello, welcome to A Couple of Flicks. I'm Tristan.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Zach.
So today we did the Tubi Roulette thing. And sometimes you get gold and sometimes you get burned, and I don't know, this episode I think I got a little bit burned.
Yeah.
But I guess we could dive into that when the time comes, but I don't know. Is there anything you guys want to talk about before we get started? Anything interesting?
I saw the new Dragon Ball movie.
Nice. How was it?
Oh shit.
It's not bad. Typical Dragon Ball shit. But I was like, when else am I gonna see a Dragon Ball movie in the theater? So
Oh, you saw it in theater.
yeah.
Damn.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Were there other people in the theater?
Yeah. Quite a few actually, surprisingly.
Oh, nice. I'm glad. There's
I heard
always
it
going to be
came out,
Dragon
yeah.
Ball.
But
Dragon Ball fans. I love it. Yeah, I'm
uh,
glad.
It's playing at the theater near me too now, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's cool.
Huh. Maybe I'll go see it. I've never seen
Yeah,
it in
there you
theaters.
go.
Huh?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I got enough points to get a free ticket, so why not?
Oh, nice.
I probably should have went and saw Nope, but
Cool. Did you see anything else in the theater recently, or?
I saw Bodies, got free tickets for that too.
How was that? Looks interesting.
It's okay. It's I don't think they knew what they wanted tonal wise, because it was a weird. It's like they want to be comedy, but they want to be serious. They don't. It's like they don't know.
It's hard to pull off both.
Yeah, but it was okay.
A lot of people I know want to see that one. I haven't watched it yet, but
Yeah, it looks interesting. I want to see it.
yeah.
I didn't see any movies per se, really. But I did see I binged since you gave me that link for the Apple Plus. I binged Severance, the first season of Severance.
Nice.
Cool. How was that?
It was really good. Definitely well worth all the accolades it was getting.
Still gotta check it out.
Oh, I highly recommend it. Yeah.
I did eventually check out Prehistoric Planet, which was very satisfactory.
Thanks.
Yeah. The visuals were the coolest, but that's, I guess, to be expected. So I don't know. I still love how we always learn new things about prehistoric times, and I don't know, there's just so much more. Like, I just love seeing science progress. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I guess let's just get started, because these are Tubi movies, so we don't want to waste too much time.
Right.
All right, so I guess we're starting with your pick first, Zach, or your quote unquote pick.
Yeah. So I ended up with Space Raiders. Roger Corman produced. As you can, well, I guess a lot of the flying spaceship footage was from one of his other movies.
Yeah, Battle Beyond the Stars. I don't think all of it was, but quite a bit of it was.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that, so I didn't pick it up.
Yeah, I've seen it, but
that's what Tubi wanted to autoplay to next after I finished this. It just started Battle Beyond the Stars.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's Roger Corman. So
Yeah. I guess I'll just read the plot summary because I kind of found this a little boring.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was real boring.
It's like cable TV sci-fi vibes, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
All right. Captain C.F. Hawkins, a former space service colonel turned pirate, leads his crew on a mission to steal a freighter owned by an interstellar corporation, simply referred to as the Company. During the theft, 10-year-old boy Peter slips aboard the freighter to hide, and the pirates steal the ship, unaware he is
Yeah.
unaware he is aboard.
Kind of wanders into the hangar chasing like a space grasshopper or something.
Space
Yeah.
bugs.
Some bug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He caught some bug.
Yeah. So
An
we got a little bit of stop
awesome
motion.
awesome little stop motion,
Mm.
as to be expected with some Roger Corman stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because he always has to like have these little fast fucking like he pretty much, I mean, like I can already sort of picture what he did with this. He probably managed to rent out like a handful of either rejected or recycled like set pieces from space films and made probably about like 5 movies in the span of 2 months, I'm guessing.
Mhm.
This is just my guess. Like, because I wouldn't be surprised if some of the set pieces in this were also in like Forbidden Planet and what was that one? Galaxy of Terror. Like, and I don't know, maybe even the desert shots could have been used in like 1 or 2 of the Deathstalker movies, or maybe even Barbarian Queen or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
And
still,
then
he makes the most out of them. So
yeah, I didn't mind it. It was, cheap, but still not too cheap where it's like laughable.
yeah, not distractingly cheap.
Yeah. And then the they're basically in a warehouse this first scene,
Mhm.
but space warehouse.
Space. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
After the freighter rendezvous with Hawk's ship, the crew fight to save the life of a comrade wounded during the shootout. Meanwhile, Peter comes out of hiding and asks to be taken home.
The alien character kind of spots him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
like ESP or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Mental powers. He can
Yeah.
sense people and shit.
Got a
Yeah.
big old head, like typical alien.
Yep.
Yeah, you get plenty of alien costume props in this movie. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty interesting, most of them.
Yeah.
Trying to look at the ones in the bar scene
Oh yeah, there
in
was
the
some pretty
background.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you gotta copy the cantina scene.
Mm-hmm. Always.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah,
And
the
then
cheesy stuff.
all these characters were like look like they were just like in Han Solo outfits, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, like these are the costumes that were found in the back lots of George Lucas. Like these were the costumes that George Lucas didn't want to use because they just didn't look interesting enough.
Yeah.
Roger Corman's like, oh, we'll make some use of this. Like, here, put this on. Like, it kind of fits you.
Yeah. At first, Hawk considers ransoming the child, but during a skirmish with company fighters, Hawk's feelings change when Peter courageously volunteers to squeeze into a tight compartment and fixes a damaged power conduit that allows them to escape.
Yeah, I mean, even though he kind of ends up sort of screwing up their journey, he also kind of ends up being helpful here and there as well. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I hated that kid though.
Yeah, well, you can't love them all.
Yeah, he wasn't the most annoying, but he's
Pretty. Yeah.
He didn't really bother me. I mean, I'd seen him in another movie before. I think it might have been a Stallone movie. Like I think it was like Over the Top or something like that.
Yep, he's
I know
over the
I'd seen
top.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Yeah, like as soon as I saw that kid, I was like, oh yeah, I've seen you before. So.
He looked familiar-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
And like I was gonna say, during when that thing got damaged during it, he was comically in the way. Like everyone was running around the cockpit or whatever, trying to push buttons and shit. They're like just picking it up, throwing him into another corner.
Yeah. Although I gotta say though, I did think that he behaved pretty realistically in that scene, because like the entire time he just looked confused, and like even it was actually kind of funny how realistic it was, because like it starts off, one guy says, "Get out of my seat,"
Oh yeah.
and then he's just getting pushed around, and he's like, "Oh," and he genuinely looked anxious at that point, and I was like, "Oh wow, this kind of sucks." Like,
Yeah. And that ship there, they mostly drove. I wrote down it looked like a nutsack.
Yeah.
yeah, it kind of did. Like all the characters, they all looked like they had too much testosterone. Even that one lady, like the whole time, she had two emotions: panicked to the point of tears, or angry to the point of killing someone. Those were like literally her two expressions. Even when she was put in charge of trying to like protect the kid, like the whole time she just looked like she wanted to kill him.
Hawk promises to return Peter to his home planet, Procyon 3. First, however, Hawk's crew stop to rest at a space station owned by alien crime lord Zaratin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think I'm saying
I mean,
that right.
I think you're right. I mean, you can pretty much guess where the film goes from here. It basically just turns into a Western after this. Like, just the way it unfolds, I mean, you could, yeah. As soon as that one alien dude showed up and he looked really ominous, like, I knew he wasn't going to be like the biggest threat. I knew he was going to be a threat, but yeah.
There's your Jabba the Hutt right there.
Yeah, pretty much. He was pretty creepy though, like for the entire 2 or 3 minutes he was in the film. He wasn't in it very much. He was only in 2 or 3 scenes, but I don't know. I found him pretty creepy. I was like, ugh, he just wigged me out for some reason. Like, I don't think it was the costume. I think it was something about the voice and the inflection, and just like he got a little too into character. I think whoever was
Yeah,
in that costume.
Yeah, he was in character for sure.
Yeah, which is cool. I mean, I liked it. Like, one thing I can't fault the movie for is that everybody was emoting like to the 11th. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it would have been better if Nicolas Cage had been in it.
Yeah. As that guy.
Oh yeah, that would have been incredible.
On Procyon 3, Peter's father meets with the company's security director, who decides to locate the boy with an advanced robot ship. This massive, fully automated battlecruiser can track an identity tag that Peter wears around his neck.
Okay.
I didn't pick that up.
I didn't either. I knew they were tracking him somehow, but I didn't really care how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of like briefly explain it, and then like, yeah, it just sort of happens, and it's not really treated as any sort of. I could easily see why somebody would miss it. Kind of happens in the background a little bit. So,
I just thought they were like tracked the ship they stole or something, but
yeah, and you could tell that. Oh yeah.
I noticed they were, at least when he was moving around, they could tell where or what ship he was in and stuff somehow. Like when they went to the space station or whatever and went to a different ship, they always knew what ship he was in somehow.
Yeah.
I didn't know how, but I guess that's how.
Yeah. Although both ships look pretty different, at least at least to me they did. I mean, and there were at least a couple moments in this film where you could tell like a scene was sort of created in the editing room, where he probably had the actors improvise for a couple minutes, like walking down hallways and chit-chatting and stuff, and then but not really any close-ups of them moving their lips or anything like that, and then added dialogue over it. There were at least a few transitional moments in the film that were like that, but I don't know, they weren't really distractingly done. So
yeah. Back at Zaratan's station, a pair of bounty hunters spot Peter and realize he's a company kid worth a hefty ransom. When Peter wanders off flight plan, a psychic alien member of Hawk's crew senses the boy is in danger. When Hawk finds him, Zaratan arrives and is furious a child is snooping around his station. Hawk promises the kid will not be a problem, but threatens to kill Zaratan if he tries to lay a hand on him.
Yeah, so this is kind of when like the head of the ship, like the guy who's in charge of the ship, has to step up, because like up to this point in the movie he was kind of assumed a grunt like a role where he doesn't want to get attached. He's like one of those kinds of things where he wants to remove himself from the situation entirely because he doesn't feel like confident. But at this moment he basically has to get involved now, like he doesn't have a choice. So, and even later on he tries to kind of distance himself again and it doesn't work. But
Yeah. Kind of is kind of a jerk at the beginning or whatever, that typical captain that's all aloof and shit, but he warms up to the kid.
He grows to change. Yeah, pretty much. I guess it's about a pilot deciding to learn how to not be a douchebag. I guess that's the overall plot.
Yeah,
kind of like Top Gun.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on. Sorry.
While Hawk and crew relax in the bar, aboard Peter slips out of his cabin and the bounty hunters follow. And while he's in the cabin, we get a little Dick Miller cameo.
I like that. That made me smile.
The hologram?
Yeah.
Yeah. And wasn't there also like somewhere there was like an alien prostitute?
Yep. Yeah, they were walking through it. Credited as space hooker. In the credits.
Oh well.
Meanwhile, Zaratan calls Hawk to remind him that his service fees are long past due. Zaratan demands that Hawk steal 4 company fuel ships from a depot on Regulus 5, but to guarantee performance, the boy must remain at the station. Hawk refuses to leave Peter behind, but he agrees to steal the ships. He orders his crew member Amanda to take Peter home in one of the ships once the job is accomplished.
Yeah, which she reluctantly does.
And these ships are guarded by just robots, apparently. A robot planet.
Yeah.
And he said he disabled them all somehow or something. But that wasn't true, we come to find out.
Yeah. Whoops.
Hawk returns to Peter's cabin, but finds the boy missing and races back to the bar. In the meantime, Peter spots the bounty hunters and a chase ensues, but he is captured. Thinking Zaratan has taken Peter, Hawk confronts him, but just then Zaratan is alerted that the bounty hunters are making an unauthorized departure, which Hawk believes can only mean that they have the boy.
Yeah.
There's a food fight during that scene when they're escaping and shit.
Yeah, that was random.
Gotta fill some time, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, because there were a number of moments where there wasn't a whole lot happening other than exposition. So, but
Hawk immediately chases after the bounty hunters, but they encounter the company robot ship. Programmed for self-defense, the ship reacts to being fired upon and destroys the bounty hunter ship. Peter survives by using an escape pod, which Hawk retrieves.
Yeah, that was done by those bounty hunters because they were a tiny ass ship coming up and like against this big ass battle cruiser, and they're like, "I'll just fire a warning shot." Like, what would even a non-warning shot do to that? From your tiny ass ship to that big ass thing? Like, what?
Yeah, I didn't understand that rationale.
Gotta have the bumbling idiots.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, but is
They're
it
like
around this
the
point?
wet bandits of this movie.
Yeah.
That's what they reminded me of.
Yeah, basically. Was it around this time that the kid actually starts getting useful on the controls?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
after he gets
Yeah.
retrieved, I think. Yeah.
He takes a lot of glee in killing.
Blowing up rocks at first.
Yeah.
Yeah, back on course to Regulus 5, Hawk teaches Peter how to fire the ship's lasers using asteroids as target practice. Goddamn rocks.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah. There were a lot of little lines in this movie I actually thought were kind of funny.
Yeah.
But go on.
They give him a beer while he's shooting rocks too.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. That's how you could tell it's an 80s movie. You know?
Yeah.
They're drinking while flying spaceships.
Yeah. God, what was with movies in the 80s and just how crazy they were? Like, was everybody seriously on cocaine or something? Like, I mean,
I think so.
when
Yeah.
people say that, are they being serious? Because like, so many of these movies have like these weird moments of them like this, and I'm just wondering, like,
Yeah, I think
what
they
the
were.
heck? Like,
Yeah.
And even during like when they were getting shot at, like they were cracking beers and like drinking out of them too and shit while the ship was getting blown up.
yeah, it's like this ridiculous. This is space crew and this little kid getting drunk while blasting up these enemies. It's like, okay, great. And it's a family movie too, so that's pretty funny.
Well, once at the planet, Hawk's crew goes after the tanker ships, and Hawk says goodbye to Peter. After a battle with security robots, Hawk's crew succeeds in taking the ships, but nearby the company observes the theft with the robot ship and orders it to follow the convoy.
Yeah, those robots were funny looking. They didn't really move like robots.
Yeah. Oh, here's a spray painted suit.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. It was quick, you know, you only have an hour to make a costume type of thing, or you only have an hour to make, 5 costumes. So just ingenuity every step of the way. They probably only had about 5 days to film this, so they had to, and they probably didn't have much film either, so not a whole lot of time to rehearse, probably 1 or 2 takes at most. That was the type of filmmaker he was, but somehow he was really good at doing it. I've never understood he's still alive. I don't even know why I'm talking about him in the past tense, but yeah, like, I don't know. It's just interesting. I mean, I know he didn't direct this, but he was in charge of it. Typically he had like directors for hire and folks like that on his movies, but he would be the one that was ultimately in charge of the production, so
Yeah, he has a crazy amount of stuff that he's done.
yeah. The reason we haven't watched like most of them for the show though is because like they're not really bad exactly. Like they're not good, but they're not like bad, like as in like they're funny. They're actually like too well made to be bad, because he often relied on his his directing and his acting to basically carry him through, and it ended up working for a lot of his films, like Little Shop at Horrors and stuff like that. I think the only other movie we've watched of his on this show was Carnosaur. So,
Uh-huh.
which I actually I kind of love that movie now that I think about it. Like I think I was lukewarm on it at the time, but the more I think about it, the more I actually kind of enjoyed that whole idea.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Gotta watch the sequels now.
Yeah, I'm curious about the sequels. I'm waiting for those to get like re-released or restored or something,
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
As Amanda travels to take Peter home, her ship is ambushed by starfighters sent by Zeratin and crashes on a nearby planet. Amanda is killed by Zeratin's thugs, and Peter is
That was
captured
sad.
for ransom. What's that?
That was sad. That kind of bummed me out because I liked her character actually, even though like she was crazy and like depressed. I don't know. I kind of wanted her to survive. Like I kind of got bummed out when these characters started getting killed. Actually,
Yeah.
And that's when the kid actually shoots ships too, is when they were getting chased down.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. He was like hesitant
He's
because
a
he didn't
murderer
want
now.
to. Yeah, he was hesitant because he didn't want to kill people. But then he's like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, this is fun."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I noticed the explosions for those were the same exact footage.
Yeah.
Yeah. They recycled a lot of the same shots, just sped it up here and there, tried to make it look different enough, maybe zoomed in a bit, little things like that, which the average person might not notice. But, if you're like us who've watched a million movies, it's harder to not notice after a while anyway.
Flight plan finds and rescues the boy, but is shot by Zeratin's guards as they flee.
That's the alien flight plan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
I just knew Hawk and Peter were the only names.
Yeah, that's. I don't know why they chose that as an alien name, but or maybe it was his nickname. I don't know.
Yeah, that was confusing.
Peter finds Hawk in the bar with his 2 remaining crewmen. The station is alerted to the approaching robot ship. The station launches several defense ships in response, but none can stop it. Peter and the remainder of Hawk's crew try to flee the station, but are confronted by Zeratin and his men. The last two of Hawk's crew are killed off, and Hawk manages to kill Zeratin, but not before being shot himself. Peter struggles to help Hawk to a ship where they escape before the station explodes. The robot ship pursues Hawk's ship. Unable to outrun it, Hawk tells Peter to fire the laser the moment the robot ship lowers its defenses, which it must do to fire its weapons.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on that moment?
Like, straight from Star Wars again.
Yeah, rip off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, 100%. I mean, this movie really it's Star Wars.
That was shameless.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
absolutely
It's
shameless.
100%. It's pint-sized Star Wars, essentially. Like, it's the Star Wars that was made for kids who couldn't figure out a way to identify with Luke Skywalker, basically.
Made for TV.
Yeah, or almost. I mean,
Yeah.
It may as well have been.
Yeah.
But
I like the other Star Wars rip-off things were like a little more subtle, but this was like, okay.
Mhm. What do they
Yeah.
call that? The run they did in the Star Wars with I forget.
Kessel Run.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you guys didn't see Maverick either?
No,
Okay.
not yet.
No, I won't spoil it, but I mean that's basically they're basically trading one of those Castle Run type things in Maverick.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm really excited to see it. I don't know. I just didn't get time. It's hard to find the time to see a Tom Cruise movie these days, at least for me. But it's coming on streaming soon, if not already. So I'll probably check it out like when that happens. So.
It's a Paramount movie, right? It's got to be coming to Paramount Plus or something.
Probably. I'll find somebody who has it. I don't, but I know. I think I know someone who has.
You won't see him greeting you because he says, "Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for coming to the theaters and watching it."
To Tom Cruise, I say thank you for thanking us. I'm sorry that I missed you saying thank you, but regardless, thank you for saying thank you. And I guess you're welcome, I suppose. Although I didn't really like the first Top Gun, but I still want to see this new one just because it looks awesome.
It was, and it made a shit ton of money. So
yeah. Oh,
you're welcome for that, Tom Cruise, you bastard.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of people still going to see it when I was at the theater yesterday.
Yeah, when I went, it was like the last day it was playing, and it was still pretty packed.
Maybe it'll come back.
If Morbius did.
Yeah, that's true. Morbius!
It's Morbin time.
Morbius. All right, anyway, Eminem. All right, let's go on.
Peter successfully destroys the enemy ship. A weakened Hawk returns to consciousness and takes Peter home.
Although the kid has to resuscitate him, doesn't he?
Oh,
Oh wait, no,
yeah.
that's later. Oh wait,
Oh, that's
is it?
there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
He uses
yeah.
that equipment that he saw them use on the first dude.
Yeah. And this time it worked.
Yep.
So that's cool.
Glowing juice.
Yeah. I don't know what that shit was. Maybe that's what Herbert West from Reanimator, like maybe that was like, because this movie takes place like in the future, right? So maybe his like green fluid that he made to reanimate the dead in that movie, like maybe somebody took that formula and evolved it and made it into something that actually works.
Yeah.
I was thinking Predator when he like uses that gun on himself.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, Predator's probably closer.
Except it's green goo in Predator. This one
Oh,
is
yeah.
blue goo.
Yeah.
They adjusted it for humans.
Yeah.
A sad and worried Peter disembarks the ship, and Hawk, severely wounded, flies back into space.
Yeah. And then the kid waves to him and walks away.
Yep.
The end.
Yep.
Yeah.
So no sequel, I don't think. That's my guess. I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I
I mean, it's hard to make a sequel to a movie where like pretty much all your characters died, you know. I mean, 2 survived, that's it. There's not much you could do with 2 characters. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Don't really have much else to say about this one.
yeah.
it's pretty straightforward.
I think we pretty much covered all the details. Yeah. Well, I don't know. What would you guys give it on a scale of 1 to 5?
I gave it a 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say a 2.
Okay.
This is about as high as I could rate it. It was pretty boring and straightforward and rip-offy of Star Wars.
Well, you guys will be surprised because this is another one of those situations, kind of like The Dark, you know, where I actually really dug this movie. I'm gonna give it a solid 3. Yeah.
What?
I got pretty into it. I mean, I know it was generic. We've seen it all before, boring, blah blah. You know, the plot kind of went in the exact direction I expected. But I don't know. I got into the spirit of it. Even though it was pretty low budget, I don't know, it didn't really distract me a whole lot. Like, and I don't know. I also tend to I have an easy time identifying with movies that are about kids. So I don't know. For me, it was a pretty solid science fiction movie. In some ways, I actually liked it more than Battle Beyond the Stars, even though it stole footage from that. So I don't know. It to me it was fine. Wasn't amazing. I probably wouldn't like recommend it to that many people unless they were like really into cheesy science fiction movies. Like, I think I've just seen so many bad ones that in comparison to like all the crappy ones I've seen, this feels like a masterpiece, you know. Like, in fact, I would actually have to say, like, I actually liked 2 of the movies that we're doing on this show more than the one I'm about to talk about next. So, because you know, in comparison to the one
comparison,
yeah, like I thought both your movie and Zach's movie were pretty dope. So, and I don't know, should I just jump into my choice now?
I'll say that I did like
yeah.
their cantina scene. That was fun.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good set. Interesting bunch
Yeah.
of different aliens. And I noticed there was one guy that was doing a house of cards while while like the food fight was going on, and he kept building on, but like somebody knocked into the table, and
Yeah.
you could tell that it was rigged, and it just didn't fall over or anything.
Yeah, that was
It's like,
funny.
yeah, okay, that's all I had to say.
I mean, I'm not sure if I noticed that, but I can kind of picture it just based on the way that set piece looked, because it was kind of a small set, you know.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the music during that scene too, a little bit. I mean, it wasn't catchy, but it had kind of an interesting little moodiness to it. The movie wasn't very atmospheric, like at all, but at least it had some cool music here and there. Although I think the score was recycled too, because I know that sounded pretty familiar. Like,
Yeah,
so
apparently it was.
yeah, go figure. All right. So I haven't even tried to hide my disdain for the one I'm about to talk about next. Ghoul School, made in like what, 1990, 1991. I don't even know what year it was made.
I
Like
think 80s.
80s. Oh, okay. Okay,
I
cool.
think.
So
Unless I think.
yeah,
There's no Wikipedia for it. I was telling him earlier.
yeah. I'm not surprised, to be honest.
Ghoul School
So,
movie 90, I guess.
oh, okay.
Maybe. And it's so what it's also interesting is the IMDb of it just says video 1990 instead of like movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I believe it. I think it was shot on video. It looks like it was, you know, not
it
like
was
the
only
low
like
end
an
video,
hour
but
long too. So that was
yeah,
that was a plus for it.
It's a long
yeah,
hour.
It was a long hour.
it sure was. Yeah, this is a really frustrating one because I really have like so little to say about it. I had so little to say about it that I actually spent like a good half an hour just trying to find, like, looking the movie up and trying to find things about it to talk about. And
There
one of the
was so
things
much filler in it too. That's like it could have been
yeah,
a 15-minute movie.
it honestly, yeah. And before I even talk about the movie itself, I gotta say, like, so on YouTube, if you look this up, there was actually a promo fundraiser for this movie that was made, I think, in the late 80s by the director, who he was trying to raise funds to make this movie. And the promo trailer actually looks like pretty cool. Like the effects in it and stuff look, I mean, they don't look like great, you know, they look pretty cheap, but there's actually, I mean, it looks pretty creative, and the makeup looks better and stuff like that. So I think something happened in between that and the making of this movie. Like, I don't know if they just, if they, you know, just ran out of money or what exactly happened, but I feel like this movie started off potentially being good and somehow fell apart by the time it was finally finished, is my guess, you know. So let's see. Okay, so basically the movie is about like these two, well, okay, I guess before I even talk about the main plot, the beginning of the movie, there's like this drunk janitor who, he's like in a basement space, and he puts some money in. I mean, I thought it was a breaker box personally. That's what it looked like to me, but apparently it's a safe.
I didn't
Anyway,
get that.
although what?
So I didn't get that.
I know.
I
missed
thought it was
that,
a
yeah.
breaker box too.
Yeah,
I
I
just
guess
saw
it's,
him drunkenly walking around. I didn't really notice
yeah,
what he was doing.
yeah.
Before that,
Well,
there's the minute-long establishing shot of the school where nothing happened.
oh yeah, yeah. There's like 3 long shots of the school that take a really long time. The opening credits take a long time too.
Yeah.
Everything in this movie takes a long time. Even the janitor takes a long time putting the money in the safe.
Mhm.
I'm guessing it's a safe disguised as a breaker box. Like, I'm trying to give this movie credit. Anyway, so he's drunk, he falls asleep. Then it cuts to a couple guys at home. You got this discount store version of Frank Zappa walking into the room and yelling at them. And
Oh yeah, stoner asshole roommate is what I call
Yeah.
him.
yeah, let's see, the 2 guys, I guess they're into like horror movies. And all right, so then it cuts back to like the school, and there's
Oh, and I
a
will
couple.
say before that I don't know if it should be said, but that stoner asshole guy uses the, that slur, the F slur for gays, very liberally during that
Oh
scene.
yeah, definitely. Which I don't know if it was improvised or not, but that was pretty annoying and pretty incoherent
It
too.
was shocking. I mean,
Yeah.
it's of course, this day and age, one of those words is definitely a no, but like, damn.
Yeah, he it felt like he used that word at least like 10 times just in like the 47
yeah.
seconds he was on screen, huh?
Just say like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah. But yeah, so then I guess a couple juvenile delinquent, well, no, actually, okay, there's like the principal, it like talks to the school, and he says something about Joe Franklin, who then shows up a few minutes later, but we'll get to that. That's a whole other thing I'm confused about, but okay.
Yeah.
So he's on the loudspeaker, and he's like, okay, the school has, or the student body has voted for like the band that's going to play at the school dance, and it's like Bloodsucking Ghouls. It's like a metal band, and they're kind of a typical metal band. They only play one song, sort of.
That scene annoyed the shit out of me.
Yeah, that sucks.
The drummer had no cymbals.
Yeah. And yet somehow.
Yeah, and then like the guy on stage was like playing a solo, but it was a really slow part. It's just like, oh, stupid shit.
It was really annoying, and they barely even played. But so yeah, quote unquote metal band. The principal's, just a general principal jerk, just openly criticizing his students over the loudspeaker. Then a couple juvenile delinquents, I guess they're the oldest couple of juvenile delinquents I've ever seen, but regardless, juvenile delinquents show up at the school. They go into the basement.
They're bad because they came on a motorcycle.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, uh-oh. And they torture and kill the janitor, and they look around for the safe and can't find it. But none of them look in the breaker box, which I don't know, maybe it would have been a smart idea, because he looked like he put the money like right on the door of the breaker box. So whatever. Anyway, then one of the thugs is like, oh, what's this button do? And he pushes it, and somehow it causes a bunch of the students at the school to turn into, I guess, ghouls. I mean, they act like vampire zombies. And
it gets into the water supply.
Yes,
because they had a few shots of just like faucets running, and then the pool was being filled by a garden hose as well. That was fucking stupid.
That was ridiculous. It makes zero sense to do it that way, especially at a school where
a giant ass pool you're filling with a garden hose. That would take
what a
weeks.
waste of money. Anyway, all right, so so it affects the water supply. Also the thugs get infected too. They like fall on the floor and writhe around on the ground for about 4 minutes. Let's see, the swim team gets ripped apart.
Well, before
oh yeah,
what about that scene? This is before the scene with the TV dude and the comic.
Yeah.
That was so fucking weird.
Well, like, okay, so that was a little confusing too. Like, so what exactly was that all about?
I don't really know. All I know is what I get.
Oh, go ahead.
What I get, I don't know why. I don't know who that like the host, like it was presumably some TV host.
Yeah, Joe Franklin.
And he was just talking, like, I don't know why he was talking to the principal in the first place.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. Like,
but then like some comedian,
the like 5-minute joke teller or whatever his name is. I missed his name.
He comes in and just starts rattling off jokes, and it's like, a 5-minute scene of just like they keep cutting too. It was like, so they cut to the next joke to the next. It was just like a no coherence to the
Yeah. They were like
scene at
really
all.
awkward, uncomfortable jokes.
Yeah.
It's just like you could tell like it was really hard to laugh. Like it was just painful, and Joe Franklin just looked confused to be there. And he shows up later on in the movie too to say, "Oh, I don't feel good," and like that's pretty much it. But he says he takes about 5 minutes to say that.
He says, was there something in the water that those kids gave me and shit? Yeah.
He basically has to explain the plot.
But I will say, did you read who that comedian was or anything?
I didn't.
I was confused about two things. It was that scene and then the shirts the kids were wearing. If you didn't notice, one I thought was really cool that just said "safe distance from genius." One of the main characters was wearing that.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then a couple of people were wearing "I Stumped Jackie the Joke Man 3," which was this comedian.
Okay.
So this comedian was, both of these shirts were in reference to this actual comedian's stand-up. This comedian was a writer for the Howard Stern show. He was the husband of one of the band ladies.
Okay.
Roxanne was her name.
Oh, okay. On Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Okay.
The actress was married to this comedian, and this comedian was a writer on the Howard Stern show. And I guess Howard Stern would randomly bring up the movie Ghoul School.
That's funny.
Yeah. Okay. And so like a bunch of these, like I noticed his name was Jack Martling.
Yeah.
And I noticed like all their shirts were like his merch. There were some stickers with his name on it. Like it was all like just a bunch of his merch where half the set decoration props and shit.
That's funny.
Yeah, so
all right.
What's going on here?
So this movie's got a little bit of street cred, it sounds like. I knew who Joe Franklin was. I just wasn't sure about that guy. So.
Yeah, some shitty hacky stand-up / writer for Howard Stern. Yeah.
Okay. It was an odd scene, and it just
didn't have to occur at all.
It really didn't, and it went on. It wouldn't end, and at that point, I was like, "Man, I want this movie to be over." It's just bumming me out.
I mean, that was probably the highlight of the movie for me. Yeah, it was just that bombard of shitty jokes.
Yeah, I mean, it was great if you love cringe humor. I kind of do. It depends.
Like one of the jokes was one of the jokes is, what do you say to a girl with like no arms and no legs? Nice tits.
So lowbrow.
Yeah.
I wonder if he funded some of the movie and was like, I gotta be in the movie though.
I think so. I think that was part of it. Yeah, because his
Contractually
wife was
obligated.
that rock star Roxanne, one of the singers or band members.
Yeah, on the
There's
route.
definitely some connection of him just being able to get in and probably help fund it. So just put my merch in and let me say a couple of my set. Let me do like a 5-minute set.
Yeah. Joe Franklin. So let's see. All right. So there's also so there's a couple different things going on. There's the swim team thing. There's the thugs basically turning into ghouls. There's the basketball team, like the teachers making these the basketball team play like and practice.
So shitty. The basketball stuff was so fucking funny. Like there's only 5 of them. They mentioned that. We're not a full, like I don't know how many players are on the field.
7, I think.
7.
Like,
so even that,
well, five at a time, but I think there needs to be 7 in total or something like that.
Time. Okay. Yeah, I don't know much about basketball, but I'm like, they did mention we'll be playing the whole time.
Yeah.
Their practice was horrible. None of them made a single basket. They were all just like chucking it at the backboard. Not even, like I don't know if they were trying to not make baskets, but
I don't know. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 times it did seem.
And there were a lot. There was quite a bit of them practicing. To fill time.
Yeah, basically, like whenever there wasn't anything happening in this movie, it just cuts to the basketball team and shows them like saying stuff, and that's it. Let's see. The two horror nerds are hanging out in the rec room watching a horror movie. One of them has to go use the bathroom and gets attacked. I remember there was like the makeup was really ridiculous. Like the movie, it's kind of like, oh,
So like they were in like I was just thinking of like, oh yeah, it's like the Blue Man Group about an hour after a show. Like
yeah,
they try to wash it off, but they're still kind of blue.
pretty much.
With
Yeah,
just
it was
really
just like,
sharp teeth.
yeah, just blue makeup. It just looked bad. And
Yeah.
yeah, and that's something in particular that struck me, because in the promo video, the makeup actually looked like, again, not great, but creative, like definitely a lot better than this, you know. So again, just something happened. They ran out of the budget for the makeup or something, because like, yeah, blue paint, that's it. It's like Zombie Lake. The movie reminds me a lot of Zombie Lake, actually. It's just ghouls, or in this case, killing people, and like meanwhile just occasional other stuff happens, and that's it. Like but eventually, like, so they run away from the swim team. They keep referring to the zombies as the swim team throughout most of the movie.
It's because they were like the first ones, because it was transmitted through water, and they're the first
Yeah,
ones we see
yeah,
killing people and shit.
the
Yeah.
kill scenes were a little clumsy looking.
Mhm.
It was like, it looked, at some points it looked like they were just ripping paper, like
Yeah, there was like, I don't know, they had like, I don't know, water balloons filled with fake blood that they were like kind of stretching until they broke.
yeah, surprisingly not very gory considering the type of movie it is. Like
Couldn't really
there
tell
were,
what the gore was either. It was just like
yeah, like
mishmash of crap.
there were a few moments, like there was a part where a girl's like eating an arm on a toilet, like that, which looked a little gross, but like not anything to write home about. Gore hounds will be disappointed by this one, I think, because there's just not a whole lot there other than just a lot of plastic, rubbery looking paper stuff. There was a one part where like they are kind of pair up and they kind of split up a little bit, and one of the characters goes into the vents. That was more interesting to me, like what was going on with her up there, like then
No, that's
all
way
the
at the
zombie
end
stuff.
of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just, it's hard to think of because like so little happens in this movie. It's just,
Yeah.
you know,
One
at
of the
one point,
zombies gets electrocuted by the TV. He like sees
yeah,
the horror movie playing and goes and touches it and gets electrocuted by it.
yeah, that looked kind of cool, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Wasn't that creative. I don't know. There was a part where they find a girl and her head, like her hair is ripped off. You know, and that looked kind of gross. Oh, there's a part where the ghouls, the thugs come back and start shooting people. That was kind of interesting.
As ghouls, yeah.
Yeah,
Those-
so the ghouls show up and start like shooting the students. It's like, whoa, that's like crazy. And then there's like other ghouls running around, kind of like that movie Demons a little bit. I don't know. Eventually they managed to, like, I guess, kill the ghouls. I don't even remember exactly like how it happens at the end. Like, I don't know. It was just so unmemorable to me. Yeah, this was a tough one. I really didn't like it.
Yeah.
I can't think of much to say.
like at one point the nerds like tried to warn the principal and they get suspended for it.
Yeah, that was dumb. And they get upset about being suspended.
They call the basketball coach a dick a lot.
Yeah.
My name's not Dick.
They were kind of funny, but they weren't in it very much. That's the thing. Like, they were basically the main characters, but most of what was going on was just other stuff, like the stuff with the basketball team and
a lot of filler crap. Yeah.
Yeah, like this movie was mostly filler, and then another few pages of the script. Like,
It's too much chlorine in the pool.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there anything you guys want to say about this one? Because I don't know. I'm kind of done talking about it. I tap out.
You know, nerds try and go save the band. That's
Oh yeah,
when-
okay. I forgot about that. Yeah, they're because they believe in the power of rock and roll. Although I don't even think they managed to save most of the band. I think they saved like the singer and like
Yeah, it was like 2 people left
Yeah,
at the end.
yeah.
both the nerds and then 2 of the band members. But that is when the lady goes up into the vents
Yeah.
and tries to, I don't know what I guess get away, and she starts smoking a cigarette in the vent
Yeah.
and then puts
that
it
was
out
cool.
and like puts it out. This is like a continuity error. She puts it out and then like 10 minutes later, like you presume she's crawling, but you see like the cigarette's still in the same spot, so it's like the same shot they recycled of her just crawling.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I liked her. I thought she was more interesting than most of the other characters.
She was the one the wife of that dude.
Yeah.
Of the
I wanted to
comic.
know more about her deal. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. The director of this made another movie I saw, The Basement, which was a shot on video movie. I actually like that one more. I mean, that one wasn't like, I wouldn't exactly call it like a good movie or anything, but that had a vision, that had something to it. I felt like, but this just kind of never didn't quite click with me at all. Really,
No, definitely
just
not.
yeah. Like I hardly even remember much of what happened in it, and that's like, and I only
Yeah,
watched it a couple days ago.
especially towards the end. I started
Yeah.
falling asleep towards the end.
Yeah, my last notes were like smokes in vent, zombies have guns, people die, kill all ghouls are dead.
Yeah,
And then
that's about it.
the very
Hmm.
last one, they walk out of the like the lady gets out, she's on the roof she gets out of vents on the roof, and the people that survived the attack, they go outside and then presumably get fucking shot by the cops.
That's my guess.
Because at one point cops do show up for like
Yeah.
15 seconds. I don't know. And then they leave.
I forget
don't know.
when, but yeah.
But like the lady on the roof says, "Oh my God, the whole town." And then they walk out and just flashes, and presumably all 4 of them get shot and die.
I rewound it. I'm like, did I miss something here? Like, why did this happen?
Embarrassing. This
Yeah.
movie was just ridiculousness.
All I know,
I wasn't into it.
all I could gather was the cops were aware of what was happening because we saw cops show up at one point, but
Yeah.
didn't see them leave or do anything else or even come in contact with the ghouls.
Yeah. It's like they forgot to film the rest of the scenes or something. Or maybe they filmed them but just forgot to put them in the movie. I don't know. Something. They forgot something. Something was forgotten. Yeah. 1. Sorry.
Yeah. 1.
Yeah, 1 star all around.
Yeah. Yeah, 1. And that's being generous.
Right? That's way generous.
If you're gonna watch this movie, don't watch the movie. Just watch the promo, the promo fundraising trailer. Watch that. That's better. It gives you all the best parts of the movie, and it's more well made. Like whatever they did with that they should have just kept on going with that. Whatever this was, just no, didn't work. Sorry. Next movie.
Yep. So that's me then. The next
Yes,
movie.
that's you. Sorry.
Next movie is Ghoulies 3. Ghoulies go to college.
Yeah. AKA Ghoulies Back to School. Actually, I don't know if that's really an alternate title, but
I don't think so, but maybe.
yeah.
So I haven't seen any of the other Ghoulies. Did you guys
Hmm.
have you seen any of them or even this one before?
I mean, I saw the first 2 a long time ago, like when I was real young, and I remember liking the second one. I don't think I like the first one. Like my brother and I rented them, and that's most. I don't remember them really. Go on.
I hadn't seen any of them, but I watched the first two before this one.
Nice. What did you think of them?
First one shouldn't have been called Ghoulies. It was about like black magic and shit. The second one was awesome. It was like a slasher. And then we'll discuss the third one.
Yeah.
Okay. So
All
as
right.
you could probably tell by the title, Goes to College. Takes place in college. So yeah, I don't know what was really going on with there's the first scene that took place 21 years in the past. Some dude was reading a comic book that seemed to have spells in it that he blew himself up on a toilet while they were attacking him.
Pretty
like
much.
like this toilet was all intricate and whatever. Had
Yeah,
like
it was like a throne.
yeah, an actual porcelain throne.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, so I was wondering if that had anything to do with the other Ghoulies. Like, was the comic book at all in the other ones?
No.
Okay. This is just
No.
like a
I
separate
think
fucking thing.
yeah.
Okay.
There were so in the first two there was like toilet gags, but they weren't really funny. It was just that the green one popped out of a toilet because there's like a water one. But
Yeah,
that's the only connecting thing. Also, they didn't talk in the first two.
they shouldn't have in this one. This was,
Yeah.
it was so dumb. They were just. It's like I don't know what you'd compare it to. The lines were just they were just rambling about stupid shit, trying to make crass jokes and whatnot.
I'd say they were aiming for Gremlins.
Yeah,
but
definitely. I got
but
Gremlins
it's
vibes, Gremlins
yeah,
2 vibes because it was more comedy slant.
100%. But they were aiming for Gremlins, but I think it ended up kind of falling more in like the Garbage Pail Kids realm a little bit, like where it was just these little critter things doing gross, stupid crap, pretty much, and saying gross, stupid crap too.
Yep. So we're at the present day. This wherever the hell this guy was or whatever he was, I don't know. It's now
some
a
time
frat.
ago.
Yeah, it's now a frat house. A really bizarre looking frat house. Because the interior, at least, is all like decorated with like gargoyle statues and shit.
Yeah.
And like we see, I don't know, one of the characters is just drawing on the walls of his own frat house stalls and accidentally kicks open or like punches a hole through the wall and finds the comic book, begins reading it, but doesn't complete the spell that would, I guess, summon him.
Yeah. And I love how he has to like look through the first 2 pages and then randomly start reading the one part that you're not supposed to read out loud.
Yeah.
Like,
Just reading out loud to himself in the bathroom.
yeah. I mean, I know they do it in Evil Dead, but it works for Evil Dead for some reason. In this, it kind of draws attention to itself. It's kind of awkward because he's like, oh, what's this say? Like, it's like...
And then, so during the movie, it's these two. It's prank week at this college, I guess, is a thing that is in a college. I don't know. It felt very high school.
Super.
Like
this is like National Lampoon.
Yeah, it was like all high school type shit, but in college. There's basically 2 fraternities warring at it to get the prank be crowned the prank kings of the year.
Yeah.
We're introduced to the main character, Skip.
Whose discount store is James Spader.
Yeah. And then they're in a class where it's pure hell and chaos breaking loose. People are just screaming, throwing shit all over. Like,
yeah,
I don't know any college that would allow that.
Yeah, zero teaching happens at this college.
Mhm.
The teacher, like, he every time he even tries to teach even like the slightest lesson, a prank happens. Like, it's really over the top.
Mhm. Um, and so that kid that found the comic book was just goofing off with not paying attention, just looking at the comic, and the professor's like, "Oh, is the comic more interesting than what I'm teaching?" He's like, "Yeah." And so the teacher starts reading the comic book, but of course he doesn't finish the spell either, but and confiscates the comic book. Um, we're introduced. There's I don't know. There's a party. I guess is the next scene. I think is the next scene. I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess. Yeah, there's a couple different little parties going on.
Uh, we're introduced to the security officer of the movie, who's kind of just a dunce the whole time,
Yeah,
getting fucked up the whole time by
yeah,
pranks and ghoulies.
pretty much.
Um, oh, and yeah, there's also the main character's girlfriend. She shows up to the party while he's helping this topless girl with a elk, like a fake elk head stuck on her head, and you know she gets the wrong idea, of course, and
Yeah,
scoots off on a little scooter with the rival fraternity leader. So,
yeah, which was a pretty contrived
mhm.
thing, but I mean, I don't know, I've seen that kind of thing in so many dumb, like, teen sex comedies and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, that's basically what this movie was a teen sex comedy with monsters. Yeah, it
yeah.
wasn't really a horror movie, although there
Mhm.
were some quasi death scenes.
Only a few people die, I think.
Yeah, but they don't die in like your usual ways. That's the thing. They die in like really odd ways.
Yeah. So, okay, and the professor is, I don't know what he was doing per se, but he had the comic and he was also looking through books he had, and he noticed that one of the tomes of books had the comic, like the creature on the cover of the comic on it. So he starts
Yeah,
reading the comic, and he's the one that eventually unleashes the comics, or I mean the ghoulies. Uh
ghoulies. That's
Ghoulies.
yeah,
Jesus
at a
Christ.
school.
Yep, he unleashes them. They come out of the toilet at the frat. But
Yeah.
luckily they all the fraternity people leave except for that one, because they go to start doing their little pranks, except for the one
Mhm.
dude who's making who's having sex with just this girl basically on a bunch of different workout equipment.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. um and then let's see.
He has to go use the
he,
bathroom or something.
he makes the excuse of having to go because they leave him in charge to defend their frat,
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
and he's worn out like by the lady. While she says, "Oh, that was only foreplay," and he's like, "Okay, I gotta take a breather and go defend our base," basically.
Which
And
I don't understand why a person would, like, I don't know. That just seems weird to me that he did that, but whatever.
yeah, and this is where he dies. He gets sucked into a toilet. He gets sucked into the or pushed into the toilet and just by the ghoulies, the
Yeah,
ghoulies.
they kind of just grab him and flush him down the toilet, and that's it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not really anything else to it. That's just all they do.
Oh, and even before that though, the professor summons the ghouls to him with some power, and then he freaks out and summons them back, and then that's when they kill him. So
Oh yeah,
we get
okay.
some idea that the professor's starting to figure out what's going on, being the
Yeah.
bad guy.
Yeah, he's really the villain in the movie, pretty much.
And then the ghoulies basically, after they flush him, just wreak havoc. A
Mm.
large scene of them just wreaking havoc on their frat. They drink a shit ton of beer, which apparently, because after the frat comes back the next morning. It was 2001 beers were drank by those ghoulies.
Yeah, there's like a pyramid of discarded alcohol bottles.
Don't they also drink like cleaner or something?
Oh, yeah.
like Drano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like poison, just straight poison. It goes yum yum. It's like Kermit the Frog type of Craggle Rock voice.
Uh-huh. Oh, and they also open up like a closet that was filled with shit, and it all falls on them, and then they're magically just dressed. They get a
Yeah.
wardrobe throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, these are classy creatures, I guess. And then doesn't some lady get killed? Like she like gets strangled in an unusual way.
Okay, yeah, that does happen. um
I don't remember when it happened, but I know it happened. Like,
it happens a little later, yeah.
oh, okay.
So yeah, Skip is angry at the dude Wes. Oh, he even says like because of like, oh, he was supposed to be guarding, he even says, oh, Wes is dead. Not
Yeah.
like literally, but like figuratively, like he's but he's actually literally dead. Oh shit. So he
Yeah.
goes to question the girl that he was having sex with, and she's basically says, I don't know, he just bailed. Yeah, and she was half naked trying to hit on him. And then again, his girlfriend, I guess, was the roommate of her as well, and sees that he's in the room with her half naked, and more points deducted from Skip on trying to get her back.
Yeah.
The ghoulies blow up that scooter that the frat dude.
Oh yeah. I actually thought some of the pranks were kind of funny. Like the one where the two guys are peeing or whatever, and like he somehow makes one of them turn around and pee on the other guy. Like I actually thought that was pretty funny.
Like
oh.
Slingshots something off of something and makes him pee on the other dude.
Yeah.
So we get more of the professor. He's learned more shit. He's able to summon them back at will, and figures out that if he destroys the comic book, the ghoulies also die. Whoever's in possession of the comic book can control the ghoulies.
Yeah. Oh, and also the professor's played by the guy from the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers, like the main character in that. Is kind of interesting.
I knew him from UHF.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot he was in... That's funny. Matthew Lillard is in this movie too, actually.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Is he?
Yeah. He's only in a few shots, but if you look carefully, he's one of the frat, like he's in that group, and he's the one with the big glasses. Like you can barely recognize him, but it's him.
Yeah.
I missed that shit.
Yeah. As soon as I saw him, I'm like, wait a minute, what? I don't even think he had any lines, but
no.
So funny.
Damn. Yeah, I missed that shit. I gotta go watch it again.
Yeah. I think there wasn't there another movie that we saw? I think it might have been My Boyfriend's Back, where like Matthew McConaughey is just like in the background in one scene or something like that. So funny.
Cameos of shit, yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I love when stuff like that happens.
Oh. I guess at one point there's that scene. Yeah, there is the scene where like, the ghoulies are summoned back, and I don't know, the professor's secretary. This is the strangle scene where one of the ghoulies rips her tongue out, just stretches it out and strangles her with it.
Yeah, that was savage. How do you strangle somebody with their tongue? It's like Mortal Kombat.
Right. Uh, hmm. A lot of this is just random shit, really. The Ghoul is doing, so it's kind of hard to
Yeah,
coherently
there's
put
not a whole lot of
together.
plot.
There was a scene. There was a funny scene where like there's gonna be a panty raid, of
Yeah.
course, because they're in college. You know, not at a little fucking summer camp. They're in college.
Yeah.
They're not in high school. They're in college, so they're gonna do a panty raid on one of the sororities. But the security officer warns them about him that it's gonna happen tonight, and he kind of says, "I'll take your panties for you if you don't wanna, for safekeeping." It's so fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ugh. Yeah. I think wasn't there also a part where the main character gets threatened with expulsion or something? Like,
Yeah.
okay, because like that, I know that happened in my movie too. So it's like, yeah.
It does happen, yeah. Let's see. Where is this? I don't even know when that happens. But
Yeah.
eventually, like, yeah. Like, oh, okay. So this is actually pretty much after that thing. They get back together, Aaron, like the main characters, the two ones, for no reason really. I don't know what they did. He just kind of says, "I'm done with pranks.
She's
I
like,
be with
okay.
you," or whatever. And she's like, "Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. I'm back
Yeah.
together with you now."
Because she thought the whole prank thing was stupid anyway, which it
Yeah.
was. I mean,
And then they're back in class. The teacher's a bit unhinged now. His hair's all messed up. He's writing all chaotically on the chalkboard and shit.
yeah.
And the enemy fraternity blows up his desk, but they wire it to make it look like Skip did it. So that's when Skip gets expelled or whatever.
Yeah.
He's also the dean, apparently.
Go figure. I don't know. The school didn't seem to have many teachers.
Just him and a couple secretaries.
Yeah. Imagine if he were the gym teacher. Oh my god, I'd quit.
Yeah. Well, the professor commands the ghoulies to go kill Skip at one point. I think it's pretty after the exploding desk prank.
Yeah. And don't the ghoulies also kill the girl that was gonna be with the guy, like the girl near the beginning who was with the guy who got flushed down the toilet or whatever?
I think so, yeah. Because at the panty, this is my favorite scene, was the panty raid scene.
Yeah.
It was just gratuitous nudity for no reason.
Yeah,
Like,
it was pretty
so
shameless.
it was like we see them setting up, like they're saying, okay, like they all have bats and shit, like they're coming for our panties tonight. And then like there's music playing and that girl is dancing for a while
Yeah.
in her room. The security guard is watching at one point, and then the ghoulies like saw off because he's watching like in a tree. The ghoulies saw off, and then they saw off the tree, and he falls, and then they just start perfing out on her.
Yeah.
And I think that's when I missed her getting killed, but I think she does get killed.
She
I
plunger.
remember the plunger to the yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
It was funny. So I don't know, like she was covering her boobs for the most part, but you could, I think for, whatever reason, but you see them in a mirror at one point. So that was
yeah. There were a few naked breasts in this movie.
There were a bunch at one point.
Yeah.
But yeah, she goes to the bathroom, and the guys or the ghoulies like get in a trench coat type deal. Like they get on their shoulders trench coat with a plunger and plunger her face like super fake, like it stretches her whole face out a couple feet.
Cartoony, very cartoony.
Yes,
just like
hilarious.
The tongue thing.
Yeah,
and just like the toilet thing. Like,
yep.
Like the deaths in this movie are cartoon deaths. I guess that's why I call them quasi kill scenes, because they're like the type of kill scenes where if it happened in a cartoon, they wouldn't be killed, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and the panty raid happens, which was hilarious. It was a trap the whole time. The fraternity guys go in because the girls set just a big hamper of panties out. They go in and the girls come at them topless.
yeah.
They're all topless, and then just start hitting them with pillows.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this really bad for them? Like, I wouldn't have mind being one of those dudes in that situation.
Yeah, I know.
Like, what?
It seemed kind of playful. Like, it didn't seem all
Yeah.
that bad to me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, revenge. You bunch of naked girls hit you with pillows. Is that
Oh,
really that
no.
bad?
Oh no. Right. But I think they eventually do lose their pants because later the girls show up at the school with those guys' pants and shit. So they're the ones that got panty raided in the end.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Doesn't like the professor like get vaporized or something?
Yeah,
then,
he
like,
does eventually.
yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Aaron overhears that that the other dude was the one responsible for blowing up the desk. So she
Oh,
goes
yeah.
and tells Skip, and they make love with a dustbuster.
Yeah. That kind of annoyed me a little bit because she should have just told on the guy immediately. Like, why did she have to get with him, sleep with him, and then tell him? Like,
Mhm.
it just seemed kind of weird to me. Like, what if like he didn't want to sleep with her? Would she have just kept that secret to herself? I mean, it's kind of not really right to just let somebody get expelled like for no reason. It just seems
Mhm.
kind of, I don't know, that bothered me for some reason. Like, I don't even know why.
And then during that, also there's that bomb, that
Mm.
actual cartoon bomb
Yeah.
that I think was supposed to kill Skip or something. I don't know where it came from. I kind of looked away for a second, and then there was a bomb flying
Yeah.
around, and it explodes the security guard. Like, it was a huge explosion, but the security
Yeah.
guard comically lives.
Yeah. Guess they couldn't have too many kill scenes.
Right. So yeah, Skip's going to the dean because he wants to tell him that, oh, it was the other dude that blew up your desk. I shouldn't be expelled. And then they find that lady with the tongue and a sarcophagus thing that he had for some reason.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just dumb shit from here on, really.
Yeah. The
They run
professor
into
gets, oh, yeah.
the professor. Yeah, what does he do?
Like, he gets vaporized, and then like later on he comes back and he's like mutated giant monster
Okay,
thing. Like,
there is that. Yeah, so they run into the other frat at first, as they're leaving because they didn't find the professor. But the girlfriend gets away. The boyfriend gets caught by the frat, but he punches his way out. And
yeah.
as the girlfriend's trying to run away, she gets captured by the professor. They're in the ghouls, and she's like tied up on a table and shit.
Yeah. Which they weren't really doing much. Like, they weren't torturing her or anything really. Like,
No, but they did like strip her down. Like, they ripped her clothes apart and shit just for,
yeah.
you know, I don't know
Yeah.
why.
It didn't turn into Reanimator, basically, where, I mean, I won't spoil what happens in that, but there's something that happens in that with a woman getting tied down that was pretty horrible. So
Yeah. Oh, and I think at one point, right, the whole frat turns against Skip too, because he doesn't want to be a pranker anymore. So that was another random little like breakup scene.
yeah, we gotta have at least a couple of those.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah, So the reason why I bring that up is because they have the main character has a glue gun.
Yeah.
Like basically that was given to him during that scene where they break up, but he has a glue gun with him. And he's trying to fight off the ghoulies and squirts glue in their face and shit. And that's basically when I don't know what the hell happens. The professor melts and mutates into a big ass ghoulie.
Yeah. And it's like the ghoulie that was in the comic book that had the big monster face on its chest and stuff.
Yep.
And they at one point look at the page and it's like, oh no.
Yeah, they look at the comic and like it's three like popping out of the comic, that stomach part, the stomach face.
Yeah.
And the ghoul, when he's the big ghoul, he does admit to killing all those people too. Like, oh yeah, I don't know why, just to absolve everyone of any wrongdoings.
I guess, yeah. He just kind of lays out his whole, just everything crappy that he's done. Just, I guess, to brag about it, So, which I guess, yeah. Then after he's out of the picture, they do kind of grieve a little bit for their friend, So.
Yeah. And the way they defeat him is they flush the comic down the toilet, which sucks him into the toilet.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that. It's kind of like, all right, they just had to figure out a way to kill him. Yeah,
the comic was the source of all the power.
Yeah,
because at one point the main character does have it and tells them to attack. I guess that might be when they melt him.
I think so.
To attack the professor guy.
Yeah, at least toward the end.
Yep. So yeah, and they get back to the frat. The frat forgives them for really no reason as well.
Yeah, they're like, all right, whatever. We just want the movie to end, so we forgive you.
They won the prank war.
Yep. There's no teachers left, so the kids get the school to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, I guess.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's the whole movie.
Not much else to really say. Typical Tubi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of random scenes of ghoulies causing shit and trying to be funny when make little dumb crude jokes that weren't funny really, or half the time legible.
Yeah, they were pretty annoying. I kind of hated them all. Although the puppetry was all right, I guess. I mean, I don't remember how the first two were, so like I didn't even remember them talking, which of course then you tell me they didn't talk in the first two, so it's like, oh, all right, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember anything in particular that they say other than the part where the one drinks the poison thing.
Yeah, I don't either. It was just annoying.
Yeah. I don't know. What would you overall? What would you say? Would you recommend Ghoulies 3 Back to School?
No,
okay.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
Wasn't that good or funny or interesting?
Yeah.
Kind of confusing.
Okay.
But I mean, it was all right for some. I don't fucking know. I gave it 2 stars.
Okay.
Just basically only because of the panty raid scene.
Excellent. I think that's fair. What about you, Zach?
I gave it a 2. And I was just awful after seeing the second one. Is the best one that I've seen so far. There's one more. That one's directed by Jim Wynorski, so I don't have high hopes.
Oh no.
Yeah, I said it's like generic 80s college movie meets the Three Stooges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Ghoulies are definitely Three Stooges.
Yeah, like knocking each other's heads together like they do in Three Stooges and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just felt like a parody of the first two.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they actually did kind of hurt each other more than they hurt any of the human characters. So, I mean, I'd probably give it about a 2 as well. Like, of the two Ghoul School movies we watched tonight, this was the better one. This, yeah, I would say this one probably should have they should have just ditched the Ghoulies shit altogether and just called this Ghoul School and not make the other one, because this is the real Ghoul School. But having said that, wasn't that great. Like, I enjoyed it. I laughed a few times. There were a couple moments that I found sort of charming. I don't hate sex comedies or dumb college teen movies or anything like that. I can enjoy them every once in a while. This one was all right, I guess, but nothing to write home about. And the Ghoulies didn't do much other than flush people down the toilet and
Be
say
annoying.
dumb shit and drink.
2001 beers.
Yeah. And they gawk at topless ladies, and there's one part where they stare at her at like the one girl's butt for like a good chunk of time.
Yeah,
They
there was
admire her
one.
derriere.
Yeah, they said that. Yeah, okay, there was a couple of funny lines during that, but I
Yeah.
don't remember them, so I guess they
I don't
couldn't have
remember
been
them
that good.
Yeah, that's about all I have to say. It was all right, I guess. I probably would hate it more if I had watched the first two before it, because I mean, like I said, I'd seen them a while ago, so I don't remember them. But
Yeah.
All right, and I guess that concludes our Tubi episode. And so now we shall share our picks for 90s movies I think we would like to talk about.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go last because I'm gonna pull the rug out a little bit. So
I'll go first just because I'm not sure if we've done it or not. I don't think we have.
okay.
Stone Cold, 1991.
I don't think so.
Okay, Stone Cold. I think I may have actually seen that one a while ago. I think it's that the one that has the football player Brian Bosworth or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to see that again. I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. Okay.
I know Red Letter did an episode with that in it.
Oh, really?
Totally forgot anything about it. So
Nice.
Yeah. How Did This Get Made also did it as well.
nice.
Awesome.
I hear it's one of those classic good ones.
Good.
I don't know if anything will beat Samurai Cop, but
Yeah.
that has to be my favorite of these.
Yeah. I remember Stone Cold being extremely fucked up. That's what I remember about it. And for a couple different reasons, which you'll see why when you watch it. I think it might have originally been rated NC-17 for violence. You'll see. It's crazy. It's a crazy one.
Okay. Nice. That's my choice. Yep.
Good choice.
So I have two. One's an action, one's sci-fi. I don't know which one would you rather have?
I'd say, well, okay, what do you think, Nick? What are you leaning toward?
Well, Stone Cold is an action / crime.
Okay. And I will say, before I say mine's a horror movie. So,
Okay.
So should we go with the space one just for variety's sake?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do that.
Cool.
And
I think we should do more 90s movies anyway. So yeah, I'm sure you'll get to do that one soon, the action movie. But yeah, what was it? Sorry.
So it's Split Second. The Rucker Hauer.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right. I haven't seen that one. But I love Rutger Hauer, so. All right. Well, I'm not gonna be fucking around anymore. I'm gonna really start diving into the dirt here, bitches. So yeah, better get a drink of water for this one because I'm choosing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. So,
It's been a while since I've seen it. So.
Well, I don't know how much you remember about it, but it's it's one I'm eager to rewatch. So
I haven't seen it, so.
Well, it stars Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey. So it's going to be an
Oh,
interesting
really?
one.
I mean, I've heard it's bad.
Well, bad is one word. That's all I'm going to say. Bad is one word. All right. Excellent. These are good choices. I can't wait.
Nice.
All right. So until next time, have a good night. And yeah, see you folks later.
Yeah. Have a good one.
See ya.